is our differential valve. So I'm going to open up the drains. We've got all the drains open. This is a Viking F4, model F4 valve. So there's no pressure on the gauges. So I'm going to open this up. This one's a manual reset, okay? So you got to be careful. You will get a bit of spillage coming out here too as well. So try not to get wet. So I'm just going to open up that a little bit. And again, I'm not really pushing. I'm just going to a little bump. We don't want to slip and make sure the wrench is set properly. We don't want to slip and rip our knuckles off. And this thing's been opened a million times, so it might leak a little bit, but it might not. Okay, so I'm going to not take that out all the way. I'm just going to go about halfway, and then I'm going to remove these ones completely. So this is our differential dry valve here. These other ones are differential dry valves as well too. Okay, 3 bolts out. I got myself wet with this one last time. Damage. Okay, so I've left the bolt in. I'm just gonna let that hang there. Now inside here, right? We got some mucky water and everything else. You'll see the intermediate chamber. If you look inside, it's got that little groove. See it? Take a look. There's a little groove inside here, right here. Okay. See it? So that little slot that goes all the way around, that's your intermediate chamber. Okay. Cool?
Go first.
Don't be afraid, it's not going to get you.
You gotta look at that.
Keep your face right in there.
That's the clapper. Down here. Down in the bottom, there's that little groove around the outside of it. See it? See it? Take a look in there.
So the clapper's up right now.
The clapper's up, it's open, so it's spring loaded.
Where's the slip group?
Down below. Look down and see there's that little ring, that cavity.
Yep.
That's it, that's your intermediate chamber. Cool?
Sure people know.
Okay, actually, I can see.
Okay, you got it? Anybody else want to look?
I saw it.
Okay, so now this is manually reset. Now there's a little latch up on top here that holds the clapper up. Once it opens, you'll see there's some power behind this spring. Okay, so there is some power behind the spring, and we could imagine when we've got 100 psi pushing on this. That's just me letting go of the spring. When we got like a 6-inch valve, it really hammers, it's really loud. So again, watch your fingers, it will break your fingers, okay? So we're gonna pull it down, and if you take a look here, guys, I know it's kind of hard to see. We've got kind of one little latch here, and that's gonna latch on this, that bottom one that's shiny. And then we got that second little ledge there. I'm gonna put that post on that second ledge. And then the third ledge is just a stopper. So I'm gonna take this bar here, I'm gonna put it in the hole, and I'm gonna put it on that second ledge right there, okay? Cool? And I'm just gonna, now I'm gonna lock this in place, okay? There we go. And I'm getting a little tap right there. Do not hit here. You'll break it. Just a little tap, make sure it's on all the way. Cool. It's on all the way. Now so I've reset the clapper. I'm going to put my faceplate back on again. This one does not require priming water, so we're just going to hit it with air right away. And we're going to do a little math. Okay? And we're going to figure out what the differential of this valve is by tripping it. So I can take my supply pressure and divide it by whatever the pressure trips at. This into that will tell me what the differential of this valve is. Cool? I'll be able to tell you what it'll trip at just by looking at the supply pressure. Cool? But you'll see. You'll see. Okay? One. Again, you don't have to kill it. Try not to slip and take your knuckles off. Okay? Watch me do that exactly. Okay, so that clapper's back down, the faceplate's back on. So first thing I want to do, I'll make sure those are closed, the water's on. I'm going to turn some air on. And I'm going to open up the air line here. And you're going to see, this has got to be closed. You're going to see, you should see the gauge go up. Right here, sorry, top one. I'm ready to weigh. Okay. So we'll just give it 40 pounds. And then normally I'd leave this open, but I'm going to close it just for this demonstration, and you guys can do the same. Okay? So we get 40 pounds of air. Now our air is holding the clapper down. Now I should be able to turn the water on. So here's our water valve here. I've left the drain open, so the water's going to come up and then go out of the drain. The reason why we're doing that is we want to get all the air out from the underside and not hammer that clapper with that hydraulics. So I'm going to crack this just a little bit. We're going to get some flow going. Doesn't take much, and I'm going to slowly close the drain, and you see the gauge go up on the water side. I'll slow it down once it starts to pressurize. There we go. So we have about 100 psi. Cool? So this is going to trip around, I'm going to say around 19.5. So a 5-to-1 ratio. But you'll see it should trip around 19.5. Okay? So I'm going to leave this open just a little bit. I'm not going to fully open it. I'm just opening it a bit. And now I'm going to let this air pressure drop. We just have that little column. Normally I open up the inspector's test, but I got the valve isolated. So now I'm just going to open this up, and you're going to see the gauge drop. How quickly does the water have to get to the inspector's test?
1 minute.
1 minute, 60 seconds. Okay? So you're watching that gauge drop, and you'll hear it hammer open when it gets to that, when the total force is equal. And this isn't even very much air, it takes me forever. Because I didn't open the valve all the way, I want you guys to see. So we're sitting at just about 100. We're down to 25, so it should trip right around 20. Getting ready, you can hear it. There you go. There we go, our valve tripped. Cool, cool. So now I can close the drain, or close the main control valve. Now, hopefully this opened all the way. Did it sound like it did? We'll be able to tell because the gauge will drop. If it doesn't drop, it means the clapper will open up all the way. It won't affect these ones. These ones can't do that if they don't open all the way. Okay, so that's what it does.
Ooh.
That's what it does.
Where'd that come out of?
Out of it through the check valve. So obviously that check valve is stuck open. Okay, so I've opened that drain. We're good to go. So now I can open this. Make sure I got nothing. So now we can just start over again, undo the clapper, or take this off, reset the clapper, put it back on, fill the air up to 40 pounds, close the valve, open this a little bit, close this, right? Slowly until the pressure's up, and then let the air pressure off and trip it. Cool? Okay, so that's that one. That's the only one we need this for. Next one. So we can come over here, and we can do this one here. Now this one's a little different. It's a little easier, because you don't have to take the faceplate off. Even though it is code that you're supposed to take the faceplate off, you don't have to on this side. So this releases it and resets the clapper all by itself. Tyco, but by code, you're supposed to examine inside every time you trip. So, first of all here, what are we going to do? We're going to check make sure the drains are drained. This one's got a little one here that should be tied into something, but it's not.
Is that the wire Johnny cut
Okay. So that's a bit of a pain. Sorry about that, guys. Now, if this opens all the way, we should be okay. So first thing I'm going to do is, what am I going to put on it first? Some air. Okay, so flappers down. We can hit it with some air. We'll do the same thing. We'll give it 40 pounds. Well, for some reason, it's not rising up. Not rising up.
That's a leak.
No, it's slowly filling. It's coming through the radiator. I'll do a fast fill. Just crack this valve here. This will fill it quicker. Go up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I just open the top valve just for a second.
It drops. It drops as soon as you shut it off.
It's still going out very slowly.
It's almost at 40, and then as soon as you shut that off, and drop, shut it off. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
What do we got?
60. So now it's below 40.
It's probably popping out of a relief valve. Who's that? Tell us mobility. Okay. Okay, we're good enough. We got 35 pounds on, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing. There, now it's coming out. Now it's coming out. It's just being a little fussy. So I'm gonna leave my drain open. I'm gonna crack this valve a touch. And if you want to shut this, you can, but you don't have to. You can leave it, okay? So I'm gonna crack this valve the same as before. Okay? We're gonna get that flow going, and then I'm going to close the drain valve slowly until it starts to go up. There we go. And then I can hit it. There we go. So we got our full pressure in that now, around 90 pounds. So we should be able to, I am going to close this because we're getting way too much pressure. Now we should be able to do the same thing as we did on the other one. We should be able to figure out what our differential is. Okay, we got 100 pounds, okay? So let's see what this one is. I'm going to lower the air pressure using this here this time, or do I have that? Hold on, let's valve a second. It's open. I should be able to. You tell it, does that gauge drop? Is it dropping?
No.
Yeah, there.
Huh?
Yes,
Slowly,
yes.
slowly.
Slowly.
Okay, tell me what it.
Stop.
40. Tell us. Go away.
Oh. 30.
30?
Yeah.
You tell me where it trips at.
25. 20. Oh.
Scared yet? Right? Good to go. Now I can close this here. What did it trip at?
3.
So really close to, it's probably a 5 to 1 as well. Very close, okay? So we're happy with that. I can open up my drain. Try not to get too much water out of that drain. I don't know why that one leaks, but. You see that? Oh yeah, it's that check valve's not holding, so something's stuck in it. Okay? Happy, happy, joy, joy? Okay, so it's all drained out now. I'm going to hit this. Right? And it should drop that clapper down. Okay? You hear it? It fell down. Look at that, it's pressurizing already again.
Oh.
Okay? It's okay, we'll just open this bad boy up. It's just got some pressure and there's no pressure. Okay? So we're good to go. That's how we set that one. So the same as before. Open the air, reset the clapper first, bang, reset it, put our 40 pounds of air on, close it, and then make sure the drain's open this until the water flows, close it, leave this open, let the air off on the inspector sets, and you're good to go. Okay? Now, those are both differential type valves. Okay, 1, 2. This one here is super simple. This one is a mechanical type valve. So this one works on a piston system. So this, you remember in the videos, the ones that had the diaphragm? So the newer versions over there, they have the diaphragm. These older ones, they have that pressure coming from the backside as well, but instead of them pushing a diaphragm out like that, they actually push a little lever down on top of the clapper. So they got a pin that gets pressurized and comes out and pushes a mechanical latch on top of the clapper and holds it down mechanically. So there doesn't have to be any pressure in the system to hold the clapper down. Nothing, because that piston that's pressurized from down below here is pushing that latch down on top mechanically holding it. So this is not a differential valve, this is a mechanical valve, which we didn't discuss because we don't have to. Okay? It's just level 1 stuff. So here, we're going to go this one here. We got a solenoid here set up. Boom, boom. We should be able to. So this one here, every single mechanical valve or diaphragm valve or deluge or pre-action or whatever they are, they all have this valve down here. Okay? Fed from the bottom. So what it's going to do, I'm going to open this up. You'll hear water running. It's actually coming out of this hose over here. See this? So it's coming out of that hose going into that drain. Cool? So this little plunger right here, see that up top? Right behind the gauge? There's a little knob there. I'm going to lift it. And what's that done is that stopped the water from going through the hose. And now you'll see it's pressurized. This line is pressurized now. So that latch, that piston's come out and push the latch down. So the clapper is held down now. So all I need to do here is, you don't even have to give it some air if you don't want to. We don't have to. We can just trip it. Cool? So I'm gonna come over here. I've got the drain open on the bottom. I'm gonna crack it a little bit. Get that water flowing. Okay, do you want some air on it? Okay, let's give it a little bit of air. There we go, we got some air. Okay, we're happy? It's got some air. We got some visual air. Okay, so I'm going to close this bottom valve a little bit. You'll see. Oh yeah, crazy times. Very nice. Right? Okay, so we got that. We've set up that valve just by pulling the plunger and pressurizing the bottom side. We didn't have to put the air in, but we did. Why? Why did we put the air in? Why do we use air? No, not at all. Huh?
So we can see the gauges and what's going on.
Supervisory. So we would have a gauge, a pressure switch on here telling us if we lose the air pressure in the system. So we know that something's wrong and there's an opening in the system somewhere. Cool? So almost always on these types of valves, it's holding it down. These other ones, supervisory. Cool, cool? So we've got that set up. I want to trip that one. I can do two things. I can push the plunger down, or I'm going to use this manual pull station. So watch. All I have to do is relieve that little bit of water in here. And it should dump. It dumped that quick. Just that second. That valve, look at that. Oh, look at that. What's that say?
Pressure's going up.
What's that say?
Retard.
Your favorite. Oh, it's retarded. See that?
Retard chamber?
No, the retard tape. I got rid of the retard tape. I gave it to the campus up north. Okay, so I'm going to close this. That's our pressurizing our piston. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this control valve, and I can drain the top, and I can drain the bottom. I'm waiting for it to come. There you go. It's like the exorcism over there or something. Okay, so I've got both of those drained. Now I can close this top side. Run the water through by opening the valve. Lift the plunger once the water's running until it pressurizes the gauge. Let go of the plunger, it should hold. Right? Leave the valve open. I can, if I want to put a little bit of air on, I can. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to open this valve and slowly close this drain on the bottom.
Which valve you just said leave the valve open?
This one stays open. That one stays open. Always. Like when the system's in service,
Yeah.
it's the only thing keeping the system from tripping. So if you went and put this in service, and like, look at me, I'm so good, and then you shut that valve and went home, this valve would trip. Any of them, they would trip. It's the only thing stopping the system from tripping. Cool? So that's that. That's a mechanical cut valve. So over here, you guys want to look at some more?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm overwhelming you with everything here. So this one here is a newer version of that. Oh, this is nothing. This is just a sample.
Also, why?
What's that?
Why couldn't they make it all like? Why wouldn't there just be like 4 or 5 types and just?
Well, because you got a bunch of different companies
Yeah,
that make their own stuff.
it's like why they got so many different types of
Yeah. And they all offer something a little different. So this one here, this is a Firelock or NTX made by Victaulic, as far as I am concerned, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we are going to set this up. So the rule with this one is ABC. Okay? A for air, B for ball valve, and C for control valve. So air, ball valve, control valve. So we're going to pressurize this system. This is a dry system, dry alarm valve. We're going to pressurize with air by turning the air on right here. I need to open that valve. Sorry, guys. Pressurize this side. So, where were we? Right here. So I'm going to open this valve here. I'm going to, I should be able to, this should work, lift this up, and we're going to pressurize the top side of this actuator. Now this doesn't need very much. I think it's like 13 PSI, they don't need a whole lot. Okay? Yeah, we're looking pretty good there. We got 10, it's it should slowly keep creeping up. That's all we need. Okay, we're good? We got our regulator there. Now we're going to do our ball valve. We should be able to open this ball valve a little bit, and we're going to have water flowing through the tube again. And then this one has a little plunger here too. So now I'm going to lift that up, and you should see another gauge rise up if it does decide to reset itself. Oh, you're in that area. No, it's not gonna work. Okay.
In the field, there would be alarms going off too, right?
There'd be troubles right now for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try this one instead. That one might have a a torn rubber. Let's try this one. Okay, so we'll do our air. Okay, air right here. We got another, no, that one's closed, that does not help. Okay, there we go. So the drain was open. We'll pressurize the air. That's good. Now we're going to do our ball valve. Flow that. This should go up now. That's more like it. I'm going to hold it for a bit. Okay, there we go. It just took a second. Now we got our full pressure there. Now we can open our control valve. Again, we're leaving this drain open. We don't want to hammer that, sorry. We're going to crack this valve attach. And then I'm going to slowly close this. Okay, we're good to go. So that valve is set up. Cool, cool. So I want to trip this one. I'm just going to keep it really simple, and I'm going to open the drain on the top side. Okay? So we should see, and there will be no differential on this one. There will be no differential. It's just going to trip the actuator. It should. There we go. That valve tripped. Just as simple as that. Cool. So I'll close control valve. Okay. I'll close the ball valve. I can also close the air, and now I'll just drain this all off. Okay? And then that system's ready to go. So when I want to do this one, open the orange valve, lift the plunger until it pressurizes with air. Yes, air. Boom, boom. Then I'm going to open the ball valve, lift the plunger until it pressurizes with water, open the control valve, close the drain, and then when it's all opened and ready to go, open the drain and trip it. Cool? You want to see two more?